Hey, what's going on YouTube? Today I'm going to be talking to you guys a little bit about pretty much disassembly and cleaning maintenance of your firing pin on your Ruger MKIII handgun. Um, I know for me it took me a while before I was comfortable actually taking the bolt down to just the bare minimum. And I think a lot of you guys that may be new to this gun might kind of have the same I guess, anxiety about doing this. And it's really not that big of a deal. I'm going to kind of walk you through it today, and I'm going to try to be as brief as I can. So we're going to go ahead and disassemble the gun. Of course, it is unloaded. We're going to go ahead and dry fire it. Remove your magazine. We're going to take down this bar right here. And if you do need help on disassembly, I do have separate video that kind of goes into more detail on field stripping this gun. It's not that big of a deal, but it can definitely be a little tricky for somebody that's never done it. And of course there's other YouTube videos out there as well that demonstrate how to do this fairly well. But again, I'm just going to be focusing on the firing pin cleaning for this. And right now I'm just working on getting this pin out of the actual barrel, and I'm not really using the right tools for this, which is what's giving me the biggest problems. Okay, so we've got the pin out. We're going to go ahead and just pull out the bolt. Okay, and we're just going to keep this gun out of the equation for right now. Okay, so you have your bolt right here, and I've went ahead and pretty much cleaned this up for the most part. The first step to getting this thing broken down is to actually remove your spring, and it's going to have a little bit of tension. Nothing that's going to snap back and bite you or anything like that, but it might be a little difficult to pry free. And I do have a little screwdriver right here, which you can use to kind of pry this thing right out of its housing right there. So that's your cylinder spring right there, and this thing will actually come out of alignment when you pop it out. You might notice that like these forks back here are no longer even with the locking mechanism on the front. And to fix that, all you really have to do is push down on your spring and realign that thing back to where it's square, just like it was when you pulled it out of the housing. So you want to make sure you get that back in order, okay? And the next step to actually removing the firing pin is very simple. You've got a pin that can be seen on both sides right here, and you can actually just get something and push it right through, and that pin will pop right out. And if your firing pin is dirty, it might not even move after you do that. And if it doesn't pop out of place, you should know right there that you've got a dirty firing pin, and it definitely needs to be clean. But so we've got our pin out, and this firing pin should just lift right up, just like that. That's what you're looking for. That's your firing pin. And this needs to be cleaned with, hoppies, whatever solvents you have to clean. Make sure you go and get that clean and dried up, because you don't want any kind of residue involved with your firing pin. So keep that dry, and there is another guide spring in the actual cylinder, and that just sits down in there. And this is a magnetic little precision screwdriver. So I'm gonna go and see if I can pick this thing up real quick. Okay. And as you can see, it's two parts. It's a little bitty bar that's angled, and there's also a spring, small spring. And you don't want to lose these. If you lose these, your gun's going to be rendered worthless until you reorder the parts. So we're going to put that back in there. If this is kind of gunky, which it might be, you might want to go ahead and clean up your spring a little bit. And from this point, you can actually get a brush, a few cleaning patches, and clean this out thoroughly, because a lot of gunpowder residue will accumulate in and around this area. As far as cleaning the firing pin housing, that's really all there is to it. the disassembly is quite simple. The thing that might give you the most problems is reinserting this little bar right here that's got your spring. And what I like to do is I like to just have your cylinder, your slide right here, pardon me, and put this right at the end. Just set it in there, and you want to make sure that the bar is angled down. You don't want this bar facing up to where it's creating like a V. You want it to be down like it would be as an N. Okay, so that's down, and I like to just kind of push this in here right until it falls into place. And it's not really wanting to cooperate with me since I'm filming. It's generally how it goes. Let's see if we can push that back down in there. There we go. I think that's going to do it right there. And you want to push it just until it falls in that little groove right there. Now, when you're actually cleaning this, you'll see which groove I'm talking about. Okay, and it falls. It dropped right into place. And then after that, what I prefer to do is your firing pin's got this little notch right here, and that notch has actually got to catch the spring. So the best way to do this, from my experience, is to put your firing pin in this way. Okay. And go ahead and give that firing pin just a push. And you should be able to feel the retention from the spring. And that's definitely what you're looking for. You're looking to see that the spring is absolutely caught by the bar. And the final step into putting this thing back together is go and apply some tension to your spring, and make sure you can see inside the hole, your firing pin locking hole, and then drop your firing pin back in there. And just kind of rub your fingers on both sides, make sure that firing pin is in there evenly. And that's all there is to it. And of course, it's a good idea. This slide has already been pretty much thoroughly cleaned, so I didn't walk you through the steps of actually cleaning this, but just use some common sense. Obviously, where your bullet's going to get chambered right there, that's going to get a lot of gunpowder, and right here by the nose of your firing pin is going to have the most. So make sure you clean that up really well. You want to wipe it down, hit a little bit of oil on there. At least that's what I prefer to do. You don't want to go crazy. Just kind of get a little bit of oil, rub it around in there, and you're pretty much back in business. Alright, we're going to go and reinsert, we're going to go and reinsert this, the spring, and that goes in pretty much just how you pulled it out. We're going to drop that in, drop that back into place, make sure it's in there good and tight, where it's not going to pop out. Everything's in there flush, and that's it. That's all there is to it. We're going to drop the bolt back in. To get this thing back together, and of course there's other videos. I've even got a video showing how to do this. You want to go and make sure you put your hammer all the way back up. Get your barrel pin. Reinsert the firing pin, pardon me, the barrel pin, and whatever you've got to tap that back into place, go ahead and do that. Pin's back up. Remove your magazine. Hold your gun at a 45-degree angle. Make sure you've captured that bar in there. You'll feel tension. Once you have tension, go ahead and close the locking mechanism. And your gun is back together. And let's go ahead and check that firing pin. There it goes. Thanks, guys.